Welcome back to Elevation 44, where we learn how to master our energy and we discuss it through all things spirituality, astrology, and holistic living. I'm B. For those of you who are new, welcome to my channel, and if you're returning, welcome back, fam, okay? So today, if you haven't noticed from the intro to this video, I'm kicking off something new here, okay? Today I'm kicking off a weekly astrology report, okay? And what my hopes for this is that you can have the information that you need to navigate each week depending on the certain energies that are at play, okay? So I get asked this question so much in my life, like all the personal connections that I have and relationships I have in my life, friends, fam, you know, people in the community, they know what I do. They know I read the charts. They know I read the energy, and they know I can break it down. So they're always asking me like, yo, I feel these, shifts. Like I feel something is up in the air. Things feel weird. Things feel tense, or things feel light, things feel free. Like, what is it that is happening? Can you tell me what's going on in the charts? Do I need to be aware of anything? So if I'm getting these questions from all the personal people in my life, I know you guys have these questions as well. So this is why I want to bring you this weekly report to answer your questions and to help you navigate and utilize this energy to your best advantage and to your highest good, right? So this is where we're going to kick off. Eventually, I will try to make this a live video, but for this video today, it is pre-recorded, but nonetheless, the information is still gonna hit. It's still gonna get you what you need. I'm also always gonna tell you guys what herbs I recommend you working with to navigate the energy or capitalize on the energy, and what crystals will actually help you navigate as well. So I'm gonna get into all of that. But before I do, I have a quick request of you. I am actually in the process of trying to gather as much feedback from you, the community, to understand what your needs are much better. I want to create content for you. I want to create information that helps you. So if you can, please take 2-3 minutes to go to the description box, click that link. There is a survey there. It's a quick survey. I promise it's quick, it's painless. And all I want to do is find out from you what your needs are, because I want to better serve you. And I can't do that if I don't know what you need, okay? So help me help you by filling out this survey, okay? That will help me greatly, and it'll help you in the end, okay? So let's get right into this weekly report. Now, there are 3, I'm looking down at my notes, so if you guys see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. There are 3 planets that I really want you to pay attention to this week. The energy is just heating up. We have a lot of fire energy at play. We still have all of the placements that are clustered in Capricorn that have been doing their thing all year, like Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto. But there's just a lot of fire energy at play, and things are heating up, and things are like liable to spark and get popping at any moment, okay? So this is a week where a lot of these fiery energies are melding together and creating almost an explosive type energy in the air, okay? So I want you guys to be aware of what is happening so you know how to navigate. So the first thing that we're gonna talk about is the sun, okay? So the sun officially moved into Leo on July 22nd, okay? So again, this is a fire energy, okay? And it's a fixed fire energy, but it nonetheless is a fire energy. So it is sparking and heating things up. And we literally feel that, like it is hot. I don't know what part of the world you're in watching, but here in North America, it is hot, okay? So we can literally feel this fire and this heat, okay? So with the sun in Leo, we're talking about that passionate, fiery, social energy. You're feeling more social. You could be boosting your confidence. You're feeling more bold. It gives you a healthy esteem. Like you get that healthy boost to your self-esteem, right? You could be feeling attractive, charismatic, a need to take like the reins and the handles and lead things, okay? But this energy can also very well tip into domination and control and ego issues, okay? So it can also flare those types of tendencies as well. So, I'm always going to give you both sides of the coin so you know what to watch for, the benefits and the downfalls, all right? Now, what I want you to pay attention with the sun is that it is opposing Saturn in Capricorn. So the sun in Leo is opposing opposing Saturn in Capricorn. What a tongue twister. But when it's opposing, that means there's a conflict happening between those two planetary energies. Now, the conflict that is currently happening there is that it's bringing in restrictions and hardships, okay? And with the sun being in Leo, wanting to kind of bust out and be bold and be, do its thing and take a lead and initiative, and then Saturn being in Capricorn and coming down with the restrictions and saying, no, you need to walk in this line, it's just creating some type of tension there, and it's mostly around our professional or our business life, okay? We also have the sun that's in Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus, and when planets square, that's another area of tension, okay? So the opposing is like a conflict and the squaring is a tension, okay? So I want you guys to get familiar with these terms so that it's easier for when someone says opposing or squaring, you're able to digest this information very easily. So basically both of these placements is causing tension, conflict. It's a bad aspect, okay, for these planets. So this also makes it hard for people to express themselves. You can feel criticism or criticizement. Is that a word? Criticism is probably the better word from others. You can also tend to get into a mindset of worrying. Feelings of low self-esteem might come in, even though that Leo sun is supposed to be boosting. With this squaring and this opposing of Saturn and Uranus and creating all this tension and conflict, it can actually make you feel like so you can like yo-yo, right? Where you're feeling these bouts of high self-esteem and confidence, and then all of a sudden you feel these low, feelings, and like it's just like yo-yoing, like I feel high, I feel low, I feel high, I feel low. So just think about that and take that into account. And don't be too hard on yourself, because this is just the energy at play, okay? So you can also be feeling rejected. And what I would say is required during this time is just patience. You're gonna have to put in patience. You're gonna have to put in hard work. Flexibility will be necessary because things will feel unpredictable, okay? Because Uranus brings in that unpredictable energy, and it being in Taurus, which is all about our material wealth, our finances, and it ruling a lot of those aspects, and then that energy happening in Capricorn, which is directly tied to our business. This is a lot happening in our financial, money, professional realm, okay? So keep these things in mind, like a lot of these challenges you may feel may be in these arenas, okay? Now, this is also good to lend itself to outbursts of anger. The ego is heightened during this time, so there is almost a rebellious nature that is at play here. So again, like I said, things are heating up. They're literally heating up in every aspect, okay? Now, the second thing that I want you to pay attention to is Mercury, okay? So Mercury is currently in the sign of Cancer. Now, Mercury is also having tension with Mars in Aries. It's squaring Mars in Aries this week. So what this can lead to is rush thinking and decision making, okay? We're talking about frustration and temper flare-ups again. So here we go with, people's tempers being really, on a short fuse here, okay? So this can also be hostility, aggression. There is a strong need for independence. There can be a lack of inhibition. Extreme passions can get you into trouble quickly, okay? A lot of impulsive, that fire, quick, tempered, sparking energy, okay? So that's why I'm saying things are heating up. You guys need to be aware of this. There can also be miscommunications and other things of that sort. So the thing about Mercury squaring Mars, this placement this week isn't new. We've actually been dealing with this placement over the past, I would say 3 weeks or so. So we're about to move out of this here in the next 2 weeks. But if you have noticed that people have been on one, like you're driving about and you're in traffic and people have just been acting extra out in the stores, just doing the most and being on that short fuse, it is because of this placement with Mercury and Mars having tension with each other, okay? Now, the advice here is to slow down your thinking and communications, and that will give you a chance to think before you respond, okay? You need to take a couple deep breaths, play it in your head back a couple times before you actually say it, okay? Because again, this is that pop off, quick, tempered, fiery energy, okay? And things will get sparked up really quickly. Now, another tip is also to exercise, burn that energy, because this is a time where, again, that fire energy gives you a lot of vitality. It gives you literally a lot of energy physically. So a lot of the times when we get to popping off real quick and we have that short fuse is because there's a lot of buildup of energy. So in order to temper that out, physical movement will be great at this time to just kind of, let some of the steam out of the pot. When you pull the pot back, you pull the cover off the pot to let a bit of the steam out. That is what the physical activity will help you do so that you're not building up so much energy, okay? Okay, so the second thing that I want to mention about Mercury is that it is actually opposing a bunch of planets in Capricorn. So it's opposing, which means it's making tension with Jupiter, it's having conflict with Saturn, and it's having conflict with Pluto. I was like trying to think of all the ones that are sitting in Capricorn right now. So it's literally, there's all this conflicting energy as it's sitting opposite these 3 planets who have been in Capricorn pretty much tearing stuff up in 2020, breaking everything down so that we can rebuild it back up. So these are, a lot of our business, our government, our structures, the foundations, okay? So a lot of this tension or these conflicts are happening in this arena. And with Mercury being in Cancer, which is the opposite of that, right? It's also about the internal structures, about the family, the home, and everything like that. There's a tendency here to skip over details. So before I talked about when Mercury is having this tension with Mars, that we can, make decisions really quickly. We can tend to be impulsive and not think before we speak or make decisions. This is doubling down on that energy, saying that there's a tendency to skip over the details, okay? So it's very important to slow down during this time. This is also a good time for psychological abuse. Yes, psychological abuse, mind control, propaganda, intimidation tactics, where the truth and things are being hidden and presented in a different way. So be careful. There's a lot of illusions and trickery at play, okay? And especially when it comes to those Capricorn-like activities like I just discussed, you really want to be paying attention, extra attention to this, okay? So this is not favorable good news. It's not good news, okay? So it's just overall communication difficulties and challenges. So please be aware of that as we navigate through the week. The third, planet that I want you to pay attention to is my good friend Mars, okay? And we know all about Mars is moving through the sign of Aries, just blazing fires everywhere, okay? Mars actually was last week conjuncting Chiron, which is the wounded healer, and literally triggering people, okay? Triggering people left and right. So Mars has definitely been coming in and doing its thing and sparking some fires, but it is about to light things up and take it up another notch. So let me tell you about what Mars is doing. Okay, so Mars in Aries is actually squaring Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn. So again, this is tension, more fire energy, okay? If you're not taking anything else out of this video, just know there's going to be a lot of tension in the air and a lot of fire that can spark things off really quickly, okay? So with this placement, there's an energy boost that's going to happen. So again, that physical energy, that vitality is going to be boosted, and you're going to literally feel that. But it's also a good time to take risk and initiate new projects in business. But don't be impulsive, okay? Because there is a tendency to crash and burn from this high energy. It's like you, whew, go, 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 psh, crash. Woof, go, 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 psh, crash, right? So we want to make sure that we're tempering that out, okay? So yes, it's a good time to initiate and take risk and move forward on certain things, but that crash and burn tendency is real when you're getting those boosts of energy, okay? So that high-low energy cycle is something that we want to be aware of as we navigate through the week. This is also ripe for power struggles, okay, and confrontations. There is a desire to control and dominate because that Mars energy is all about, this is what I want, this is what I'm going after, I see that target, I'm zoning in, I'm going, you can't stop me, you can't hold me back, I'm gonna dominate this, okay? So with, again, the sun being in Leo and that also being another domination energy, we're really talking about having to watch our egos and really having to control ourselves and pull back and literally temper out that energy and make it nice and even, okay? So do what you gotta do. If you gotta do boxing, if you gotta go for a run, whatever you have to do to put yourself on ice to utilize the energy to your advantage, but not to let it get so high that you are literally, destroying stuff and starting your own fires everywhere, okay? So the last thing I will say about the energy for the week that I want to highlight, just to wrap things up here, is that Mars is also going to be conjuncting Lilith in Mars. Lilith in Aries, like Lilith in Mars, that makes no sense. So Mars will be conjuncting Lilith in Aries, okay? And when there's a conjunction, that means that there is just a merging of energies, okay? They're blending their energies together. Now, a lot of people don't know about Lilith, okay? And Lilith is not necessarily a planetary placement. It is more of a gravitational force, okay? A gravitational force that pulls the moon in its particular rotation cycle, okay? So this is a raw energy. Lilith brings a raw, it's like your dark, deep, primal, instinctual, feminine, just deep energy, okay? So this energy can be described as shadowy. It can be described as wanting to be dominant and rebellious. So it's just raw and if you just think of dark energy in its most untapped, rawest form, that's kind of how I would describe the Lilith energy, okay? So with these, with Lilith merging its energy with Mars and Aries, we're talking about a powerful, unpredictable energy here, okay? And again, emphasis on that feminine aspect of the energy. But it's an intensity that is just taking everything that's already here, going to here, going to here, going way up here, okay? So that intensity level is through the roof with Lilith conjuncting Mars. Now, this can bring a mix of fire and fury, okay? So take those words literally, fire and fury. We're talking about sexuality with our rebellious natures. It can make us more feisty so we can get into fights and we can feel like we can have a real big streak of freedom, like you just want to be free, and if anything tries to box you in or hold you down, that you are just going to wild out. So just be aware that this placement is just going to heighten the intensity of everything else, but it is a favorable time in general with all of these placements. Even though everything is heightened, if you know how to tap into this high energy and the vitality and temper everything out, you can use it to power you and to give you energy to boost you forward in a lot of your own individual pursuits at this time. You just have to be aware of everything that I just mentioned, okay? So then, lastly, let's just talk about some of the crystals and the herbs that I would recommend you working with this week to navigate this energy. The first crystal, actually I only have two crystals that I will mention. And I have one here and I don't have the other one. But the crystals that I would mention to work with are crystals that are gonna help you slow down your thoughts and facilitate communication and calmness, because it seems like the communication piece is going to be really, really dicey during this time. The first crystal that I would recommend is celestite, and then the second crystal that I would recommend is fluorite. So I don't have a piece of the celestite, but this is the fluorite. Is that picking up? There we go. And like I said, calmness is going to help facilitate communication, help you slow down your thoughts. So if you don't want to get on that impulsive train and be blurting things out that's going to get you in fights, that's going to get you in trouble later, and making decisions on the fly that you're going to regret, carry a piece of this or the celestite with you, and, you know, allow it to calm you down and bring you down a notch before making those decisions, okay? And then the herb that I would recommend, or two herbs that I would recommend you working with this week, the first is lemon balm. And lemon balm is great for anxiety. And again, it kind of works like the crystals. It just kind of helps temper everything down because the energy is going to be really, really high and explosive. So you want to kind of give yourself like that, just chill, bring yourself down a notch, so that you're, you know what I mean? You're nice and even. So lemon balm is going to help bring you down. It's great for anxiety. It's just great for helping you calm down and just chill out, okay? And then the second herb that I would recommend that does the exact same thing is chamomile. Chamomile is great for sleep. It's great for relaxation. These are the things that are going to help you kind of navigate during the week, so that if you feel like you're getting too hot, you're getting too, you know what I mean, up there, you can bring everything down a notch, okay? So that is this week's astrology report. Let me know in the comments below how you like these, you know, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Give me a thumbs up. And also don't forget, please, to click the link in the description and please fill out that survey for me, por favor. Okay, so I will see you next week with another weekly report. And then I'll also have some other videos in between, okay? So I'm gonna be significantly ramping up the amount of content that I put out, and that's why I really wanna know what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you want to know, what you want to learn, okay? All right, so I will see you in the next video. Peace.